Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle and thank you for joining me here. So, this video is going to be a little different than my other videos because I'm not responding directly to a single article. No, I have obviously a question on screen, but ultimately a question that has been bugging me since, I don't know, maybe a year ago. Of course, this is more of a discussion video, and I do want input from you. So, when you watch the news, you hear things such as, President Trump is gonna get that wall and stop all sorts of illegal immigration and whatnot. Or something along the lines of, the U.S. has had its lowest birth rate, or its lowest native birth rate, in 32 years. Or something along the lines of, the national debt has hit its highest record of just indebtedness, $22 trillion in debt. And this is the highest it's ever been in the history of our nation. But, people on the news networks and people, life, they just, they'll speak about their opinion and tell others maybe about their ideas. But when people tell me what the news says, or what the news say, and then they give me their opinion, there's a question that immediately enters my mind. And this is it right here. Let's blow it up a little bit more. I ask them, or I respond to them with this question. Oh yeah? And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do in regards to what you just told me about the news, about the border, about debt, something along those lines? People would say they would do nothing, of course, or just look a little shocked at how blunt I would respond to them. For example, I recently did this video, but I know that in May of 2019, over 132,000 potential illegal immigrants were stopped from entering the U.S. border. My friends at the time did not know that I knew that. They told me the same information, and I asked them, what are you going to do about it? They would just say, my friends of course, would just say, oh, it's terrible that it's happening, and do nothing further. They're just like, oh, well, we'll complain about it, we'll bitch and moan about it, but that's it. For me, what I do in response to the question on screen is this. I am informing others of the news, and of course I give my response and opinion. This, at least at the moment, is the only way I can react, much like pretty much everyone else. Excuse me. However, in the case of illegal immigration, I will call for citizens to publicly form groups to protect themselves against illegal aliens trying to cross the U.S.-Mexican border. And I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one calling for citizens to protect themselves. It's just natural, protect yourself from foreign invaders. But in response to news such as, the U.S. birth rate falling or mandatory diversity in workplaces, I hope that you are preparing for the inevitable. Because at the 11th hour, we will be in a conflict so large that it will shape the destiny of our entire civilization. If we don't succeed, then our culture and civilization is lost forever. Right now, we are on the very, very slow decline until we hit a point at which the people, they have to react or they die. They basically die. We will all die if we do not react by the time we get to a certain point within our civilization's timeline. I understand that individually, we really do hold little to just no power. We hold individually no power. Now, don't get me wrong. If you choose to do nothing or in response to the news, in response to what your friends tell you, or even people you don't like, I understand. The fight ahead will be extremely dangerous and almost completely impossible to win and succeed through, just to try to change the course of our civilization, or at least country at the very least. It's almost impossible, this task that we have ahead of us. But the only way we can respond correctly and effectively to the decline of our civilization is by potentially forming like a union or a collective, of course in response to our decaying civilization, so that we could even have a tiny chance to change the direction of our society. Without us, without you and me, and our response, there will be no change in this collision course in which our society is headed. If we do nothing, we crash and burn, much like the powerful civilizations of the past, like the Roman Empire. But if we rectify the damages done to our current society, we understand what is damaging us and how we can change it for the better, we may have a chance to bring about another great Western civilization golden age. And if we fail to prevent the crash, if the entire civilization crashes, we really don't lose anything because our society would have died anyways if we did nothing. But that takes action, which leads me back to the question, what are you going to do about it? You can bitch and moan all day, but what are you going to do? Look, I'll be honest, this isn't a call for action. For now. But I will be honest with you. I will be here for the next 40 to 50 to 60, hell, maybe even the next 70 years. And I refuse to just sit on the sidelines, okay? I don't want to see my country die. And something tells me you probably don't either. Unless I am taken out personally, just taken out and, given, the noose or something like that. I will continue to post videos and find like-minded people to save our civilization. I really doubt that the following will ever happen, but if I can get my channel large enough and gather enough support, I will do whatever it takes to save our country, if not our civilization. Look, I know it's going to be impossible, but the worst thing you could do is to not try. And that is my response to, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to react to the news? What are you doing to save your country, your civilization? Look, I understand. I really understand that this is an extreme uphill fight that we have ahead of us. The failure of our forefathers has led us to this point in time right now, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse unless we rise up or something. But, I know this is kind of a short video, but that's pretty much it. With that in mind, though, I hope you do respond to this video. I want your input about the topic of what are you going to do about it, and anything further along those lines. But either way, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great day.